next episode of CoVerse the podcast, part of the Insurance Nerds Network, where we will be shining light on the best stories and storytellers in the industry. My name is Whitney Doig, and I'm joined by my co-host, Zaira Salcido, and a very special guest today, Tony Cañas. Tony, it is such a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Super excited.
All right, we're throwing it over to Zaira, who's going to take us into what we're talking about with you guys today.
Yeah, well, Tony, congratulations on winning the Making Waves Award.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's important to note that the word making is an actual verb with action behind it. So can you talk to us a little about what that means to you to actively be making waves within the industry?
Insurance is a absolutely amazing career, and what we do for our clients is so important. What we do for the economy is so important, and we get no credit for it, basically. I've now been in insurance for 15 years, and I love what we do, but we tend to be, as an industry, really conservative, really risk averse, and that's just never been the way that I roll, right? So for me, I several years ago realized that my best chance for really having an effect in this industry wasn't to focus on growing straight up the leadership chain. If you had asked me 12 years ago, I would have told you my goal is to be CEO of Nationwide, or maybe a smaller carrier. And it turns out much later, I don't even want to be a manager. What I love doing is having an effect on this industry. And for my personality, Insurance Nerds, the Profits and Risk podcast, the chatwithtony.com, my speaking about millennials in insurance, my work helping insurance become better at diversity and inclusion, allows me to have an effect in the overall industry, this industry of 2 million people, that completely outshines any title I've ever had. I've never even been a manager. Like, I've been a sales manager, but never a people manager. And yet, Insurance Nerds was built. People don't realize this, but Insurance Nerds was built with duct tapes and dreams, and it's been a passion project for a long time. Now Nick is actually starting to run as a business, but we've had a great influence in the industry. And there are changes in the industry that for example, some carriers now have student loan reimbursements. That came directly because of our campaign for it. We brought the idea into insurance.
Beautiful.
So yeah. It's a great industry. The more that me and this community can do, and any of the listeners, the more that you can do to help this industry move forward, it's so rewarding. Okay, and I do have to tell a little bit of a funny story. We'll see how much Brett keeps in it. But most people who have gotten this award, and this I think there's 20 of us now, 12 from last year, 8 from this year, and everybody absolutely deserved it. Most of them, their reaction is, "I am so humbled," right? I don't have humble. It's just not a mode in Tony, right? I have nice, I have charismatic. I don't have humble. I love being on stage. I love having attention, right? My number one strength is significance. Okay, so last year I go to InsurTech Hartford. I've been there every year since it started, and they give the awards to the 12 very deserving people that won them. And I was heartbroken, quite honestly heartbroken, not to have gotten one. And all 12 of them that got it all deserved. They were all good friends already. So I congratulated them all, and I immediately went to Stacy Brown, who the main guy at InsurTech Hartford, and I said, "Hey, just so you know, I've immediately started campaigning for next year's."
You said challenge accepted.
Yes, exactly. And he said, "Well, we're letting the current winners choose the next winners, right?" So I'm like, "Oh, this is done. They're all friends, right?"
You've got to work.
So the Brett McKenzie is the one that nominated me for. I'm very thankful to her for that. And when I got word that I had won it, like super excited. So anyway, the actual trophy, I had seen it the year before, and it's incredibly cool looking.
Yeah,
But I
it's
didn't
cool.
get I didn't like walk up to somebody and ask to hold theirs. This is heavy.
Really?
Like this is like 12 pounds. It's like a bowling ball.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like it's an incredibly high quality trophy.
Yeah.
And so I get home and immediately I told everybody this will be behind me on Zoom calls and podcast recordings for the rest of humanity, right?
Yeah.
I have not figured out a way to mount it. So I ended up yesterday giving in and doing this instead. But quite simply, I love doing what I do. I love the weird place that I live in our industry. An Uber driver a few years ago, I explained what. So I get in the cab on the way to Insurance Nerds Day, part of Gamma Sigma conference, and I'm wearing my Superman shirt and a cape. And the guy's like, "What do you do?" Right? and and I explain what I do on the way there, and at the just before dropping me off, he says, "Oh, you're a guidance counselor for the insurance industry." And I'm like, brilliant. That's a brilliant way to put it.
Wow. Yeah.
So what this means to me ultimately, and I can't make it shorter, is people are noticing the work that we do. And when I say we, I really mean we, right? I'm the face of Insurance Nerds, but there's so many people that have contributed articles, so many people that have come on the podcast, so many people that are active in the community. I just happen to be the face of it and one of the co-founders. I love that the industry is noticing the work that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, it's like whenever somebody sends me a thank you email because they got a new job after some career advice or whatever, I always ask them for a LinkedIn recommendation because it makes it easier for others to find me. And I think that's the same thing here. Not only is this huge motivation for me to keep going in the work that we do, but also all the publicity around it makes it easier for other insurance professionals who haven't yet found this awesome community and who might be bored in their job, right? Entry-level people who are stuck in a call center. It makes it more likely that they'll run into our stuff and end up getting the right advice and end up growing and making this industry better.
It's absolutely important because I know there was a pivotal moment in my career, and that was when I hit Google and I was like, insurance. I don't know. I typed in insurance career coach or something like that. And there was like a list of some, I guess you would know. There's a website, right? That you've set up.
insnerds.com, click on resources, click on career coaches, and you can see our list
Okay.
of yeah, I know exactly what
You
you're
were
talking
the one that was free. And so I was like, yeah, I need free. I could use free. So I clicked on it, and a few days later we were having our call, and you pulled up my my profile, my LinkedIn profile, and you were like, you have 3 connections. This was, by the way, just last year, around this time. And you really talked to me about the importance of building my profile, building a network. And I think if it wasn't for that advice, I would have taken maybe another route. And so I'm so happy that I had that call. And if that one call was so important to me, then absolutely I want to help raise awareness that this humongously valuable resource is available to anybody who's interested in having a call with you and getting that kind of guidance counselor for the insurance industry. Because I think that
Thank
fits me
you.
so well. Yeah.
Thank you. For the listeners, chatwithtony.com, super easy to get on my calendar, and it's not a one-time thing. If you can get on it, I'm happy to chat with you.
Yeah,
Sometimes
no,
it's
I've
a
done
wait.
multiples.
Zaira, you've killed it. So we connected on LinkedIn August 8th of 2023. So a little bit less than a year, less than a year, and you've gone from 3 connections to 2023 connections.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the average insurance professional has about 1,500. So you're well ahead of average now.
Oh.
So you're killing it with and like you're a perfect example because so you had a great insurance career, in El Paso, Texas, which is not a traditional insurance
Not
place,
in the
right?
map, right?
Exactly. Like it's barely in the U.S., right?
Correct. Just a few miles more that way. And
Exactly. So if I'm not mistaken, the other half of El Paso is Ciudad Juárez, Mexico, right?
Correct.
So basically, like El Paso is a really weird metro that is divided in half by the border, right? And so it's barely in the States. When it comes to insurance, it is, with the exception of your former employer, it's just not a thing, right? So, and that happens in a lot of places. A lot of people fall into insurance by accident and work for the same company for a long time, maybe in an area that is just not a big insurance area, and they have no idea that this massive, wonderful world of insurance and InsurTech exists, right? And they how would they know, right? So I love when they get lucky and they find insurance nerds, whether it's the website, the online community, the YouTube channel, the podcast, or whatever, and end up connecting with us through whichever path they end up connecting with us. And yes, this any recognition allows us to magnify that effect, which we literally do with duct tips and dreams and no budget.
Of course. And I'm glad you mentioned luck, Tony, because I think that is so important. A lot of people don't like to mention luck because they think it takes away merit from the hard work that they've put into, like, their careers, right? And it's the intersection between talent and luck that really make a difference. Like, if luck finds you and you've got no talent, well, then you'll rise and you'll fade, right? But it's that it's got to be that combo. And I think you absolutely do have to get lucky by searching, doing everything you can to advocate for yourself, because that moment is going to get there. I think statistically, for anybody, we all get brushed with luck at some point in our lives. We just got to be ready for it, right?
Luck favors the prepared.
I like that.
Right. So yes, getting lucky is part of it. You're more likely to find good luck if you get out of your front door and go find some help, right? And in the modern world, that a lot of that can be virtual.
No,
right?
LinkedIn is so beautiful for that. Thank you for turning me on to LinkedIn, by the way.
Right. No, and
still making waves.
Making waves.
Lately, I've had people call chat with Tony, and 90% of the people call chat with Tony are looking for a new job. And every once in a while, I start a conversation with, hey, I couldn't find you on LinkedIn. And the person says, oh, I don't have LinkedIn. And you're job searching in insurance without LinkedIn, that you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're doing this with like two hands behind your back kind of thing. Right. Some people say, I don't do social media.
Yeah,
LinkedIn
that was literally you're like airing our conversation now. Stop.
I completely get if you give up Facebook, if you give up Instagram, right? Twitter is dead to the world at this point. Like I completely get it if you give up some of the toxic social media. LinkedIn,
it's not it.
Is so different and so much better than that, especially if you're trying to grow a white collar career like insurance.
Yeah, it's like not social media, it's community.
That's a great way to put it. An absolutely great way to put it.
I like it.
I love this. I think this is the perfect example of how your passion led you to be able to make such a huge impact and continue to make such a huge impact in the insurance
Burning passion.
Never gets old, honestly. I love it so much.
I know. It keeps paying for itself.
It does. It absolutely does. Well, we appreciate you so much, Tony. We're so glad that you were able to share what it meant to you to win the award. And to all of our listeners, thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Gracias.